Today on Van Helsing, we talk about who the killer is. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I was like, our snaps are off, but at least we had our ooze.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to AFTERBUZZ TV. We are here doing the Van Helsing After Show, Season 1, Episode 11. Stay away. No, the last one. Last time. That's it. Last time. I had that in my head. I'm sorry, guys. I'm your host, Marisa Serafini. You can follow me on Twitter at SeraphiniTV. Joining me, as always.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's me again, Andrew Mena. You can find me on Twitter at Andrew Mena. I curse like a sailor.
I was about to swear as a response. I was like,
you.
yeah, okay. And my name is Kari Lane, who I also curse like a sailor. You can find me on Twitter at Kari D Lane. And I just wanted to show off my necklace here from Neath Jewelry.
Oh
and,
my.
It's very
And
pretty.
Marissa's rocking one too.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel so naked.
We'll have one
As
for
it
you at
should.
another time.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I really like this. It's very pretty.
It's a good color on you.
Thank you. Yeah, and this
All right.
episode.
The song is fading out.
She's like, oh, flattering. Oh my
One
goodness.
more.
And
What
we
did I
are
say?
live in the chat too, guys, if you want to chat with us. It
Chat
looks like a
with
couple
us.
people are already talking, so what's up, guys?
What's up, everybody? Yes, this episode we finally find out who the killer is,
Oh my
even though we were
gosh.
kind of led to believe that we thought we already got them,
Yes.
but we didn't. Are you? All right. First of all, quick thoughts, and are you happy with who the killer is?
No, absolutely not. Very upset with it. It was something that we were kind of hoping against hope, I think.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, it does make a lot of sense for that to be the case, but why? And we don't want
I
it.
want more reasoning.
Yeah.
I thought just I've done this for this since I was a boy was just weak.
Yeah, it was very
Exactly.
M.
And-
Night Shyamalan. You didn't think a deaf guy could be a serial killer, but he totally can.
Yeah, no.
I didn't actually have that preconception.
And there was so much more that he said that Muhammad didn't tell us, and I was like, Arr! And like, what is the truth with Susan? I want
Yeah.
to know. So it's like,
Tell him the truth,
Tell him
or
the
tell her
truth.
the truth. Yeah.
I will say
What
though,
is the
I am
truth?
so happy he shaved his beard because I loved him with the beard. He looks adorable and sweet and endearing.
Yeah.
But when it's gone, he looks like a crazy psycho
Absolutely.
skinhead.
He
He
did.
looked exactly like Bat Boy from the Weekly World News. Like just
Yeah,
looked terrifying.
No, he looked like a menacing
Yes. Yes.
character. I'm
Yes.
like, I don't know. He looked like a person we couldn't trust anymore.
Yeah.
He was just straight up Nosferatuing you guys.
Yes.
Oh, poor Sam.
Yuck.
But like not really poor
No,
Sam,
no,
but like
poor
the fact
Muhammad.
that it is
Yes.
poor Muhammad. Well, I mean, we're kind of there, but
Yeah.
we'll say
Yes.
that.
It's hard to disconnect.
We just
those
had to
things, yeah.
discuss
Yeah.
that, of course,
Yes,
because
yes,
that
yes.
was the big reveal of this episode.
Yes.
But yeah, let's get to the elites, / Demetrius. Dimitri.
He's an elite.
Dimitri.
Yeah. I mean, he's technically the elite, but
Yeah.
or no, I'm thinking
He seems like the king
Julius.
elite. Yeah.
I think I mixed those two together. I put Demetrius
Like-
and Julius, and I put Demetrius in my notes.
Demetrius is like king level, and Julius is more like a noble.
Yes, that's right.
Like he's
Yeah,
up
I see
higher
that.
than the commoners, but he's not quite royalty.
Right.
But you know, like the fact that we've had 11 episodes now and we still don't have the elites finding Vanessa, I'm like, how powerful are you guys?
Yeah. I mean,
I think they covered that they're pretty shitty at this already.
Yeah, but like
Because
their
she's like,
threats,
we can't find him.
their threats of constantly wanting Vanessa and constantly missing her. And I'm like, I'm not afraid of you anymore.
they don't
No.
have like solid like beyond Dimitri having his like elite death squad or whatever they were called. We haven't really seen anyone like threatening. You know what I mean? Like anyone that was really like, oh well, they're
Yeah.
just vampires. Like
Yeah.
we've been shooting them this whole series.
Death Squad was about the only ones that were like intimidating.
Yeah,
That was about it.
and that's because they like had the one guy who was willing to break all the lights. And, like, no, let's forget you now.
Because he's a human.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing.
He got turned.
Yes.
But what did you think of Julius and Magdalene? We saw
Oh,
the
yeah, her
fallout.
little thing.
Yeah, we saw the fallout from last episode where they stopped giving the babies now, and Magdalene's
Yes.
mad, and now Julius is mad.
Yep. His tongue looked really creepy, by the way, when he licked her face. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but this episode had a lot of mouth things that were really gross.
A lot of mouth stuff.
Licking just grosses me out. Kissing is fine. Licking, I'm like, no.
Well, his
Not about
tongue almost
no.
looked like... I'm like, is that really his tongue? Because it almost looked
it
like
fake?
they digitally made it bigger. But it just looked like...
I don't want to think about it.
Just gross.
But we saw the dog.
prosthetic tongue is ready. Like that's weird.
We saw the dog.
The dog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
yeah.
I know you were happy about the dog.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I always
and
miss
then
him.
too many characters just like get to the point and tell us something.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, Magdalena. They're like, so about this, and she's like, okay, wait. Well, there's this thing, and you're like, dude, just spill it.
Just spit it out.
Just say it.
Yeah.
Because then he also was like, so why didn't you just tell me that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And why do you think I wasn't gonna kill you?
Yeah.
You know, like how come you're not afraid of me?
Deal with immediate threat first.
Yeah, it's like empty
First.
threats more so.
Yes.
But like, I mean, Julius, he's a physical, scary, menacing
Yeah,
presence.
this is true.
But honestly, we haven't really seen him kill people.
Yeah.
Not really.
You've
He's
seen
a
him eating
threatening guy.
heart.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
threatening guy, but we actually haven't seen him actually execute.
He's more bark than bite at this point. for us.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Whereas we've actually seen
Isn't the lady
Dimitri rip a head off a guy.
Oh, yeah,
right?
that one.
So that's a thing.
Wait, Squish? Who did Squish?
Oh, did he do squish? He did the squish. I'm sorry. I'm mistaken.
Julius did Squish.
Oh.
Or no.
No, Dimitri did.
Dimitri
Dimitri
did
did
Squish.
squish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was rip.
But
it
that
was
wasn't
a squish.
Julius.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Julius
And
is always
Julius is
growling.
just threatening.
And the lady, what's her name again?
Rebecca.
Rebecca. She's been violent. She's killed.
She has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we feel for Rebecca and Dimitri after all this? They still just want a family. They still want to execute their experiments that are going on that have been a fail over and over and over again.
I like that they finally got around to the point of what the experimenting is for, so that they
Yes.
can be in the daylight as
Right.
well. We'll point out, guys, we talked about this a little bit before the episode, but I do want to say there are inconsistencies lately of vampires in the sunlight and some of them not. Because it seems like the more ancient a vampire you are, the more affected you are by sunlight. Because, like, as Dimitri just, like, walked across the, like, light filters,
We could hear it
it was, like,
sizzling,
sizzling
yeah.
and you could see it. But it looks like ferals can...
Sometimes go in the sun.
And it doesn't
Ferals
really
are
bother
fine.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feeders are kind of more aware of the sun.
Yeah.
They can go out like during dusk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Because the last episode when they were at that farmhouse area, that was pretty much midday.
yeah.
And there were vampires running around,
Just
no
running.
problem. So you're
Yeah.
like, just...
When Hunky Guy comes up and
Most
is
of
like,
it's
"Hey,
ferals,
I'll
too.
save you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
Come on, Hunky Guy.
again, once more the distinction of how they're all
Yes.
different.
A little bit different.
Yes.
Yep.
I did like that. But yeah, the elites the problem is like Dimitri and Rebecca, the way that they built them up, they are really intriguing characters. I just want to see more of them.
Yeah.
I don't
Yes.
want to keep going back to them only one or two, maybe two scenes per
Yeah.
episode. It's like, we're doing this. I'm like, great, let's see it.
I totally
Yes.
agree. I get really tired of just watching them talk at a table. Like,
Exactly.
Great, I've seen you talk at tables a lot. Just do something. Go somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're great characters. They built them up to be really intriguing characters.
I really
Let's
wanna-
see
They
them
don't do anything.
I really want to
something.
know their history. They like, especially being as old as they are. Like, you have so many opportunities to be like,
Yes.
this is who they were at some point. Like, they don't even have to be that same person now, but show us the past them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
And honestly, it's like even screen time they can take away from like the main core cast that we see them just like sit around day by day.
Yeah.
We can take some of their screen time, give it to Dimitri
Yeah.
and Rebecca so they can actually do something.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
You
my
can be
little
like,
rant.
remember
No,
when this
you're
thing
right on that
happened?
one.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the chat are commenting of how like this episode spent like just killed off Susan too much and was too much about Sam and like but not like enough substance
Of
in a way.
everything
Absolutely.
else.
And you're like,
Like,
and they
if
just
you
kind
had
of
to-
rushed her death.
Yeah, if you had to
They
sum
did.
up this episode in like 2 sentences, it would pretty much be like, oh, Sam's the killer and Susan's dead now. And
Yep, that's it.
But
That's it.
that's it. That's all that happened
all
in
that
this episode.
that's it. All right, end of show.
And, yeah,
No.
And somebody's on the radio. That's about the only
Yeah,
other
that's right.
maybe
They-
important thing.
Gordo.
Ish. We kind of get into the
Gordo
main.
with some real
Gordo.
dark, like suicidal,
Yes.
like.
Well, I think it's just his humor.
Yeah,
Like,
and it is the nature of
that's how
this
he
world. I
survives.
totally agree. But ooh, dang! Like
Yeah. That's
you
how
just met
he's-
these guys and you didn't. Like they can only click at you.
Yeah.
They can't respond in any dynamic
Yeah.
way.
He's
so you
cynical.
making suicide jokes is pretty dark.
Actually, it's funny
He's
too.
cynical.
Yeah.
That's it.
Sure.
That's it.
That's the word for it.
I like that they kind of ask each other, like, hey, do you guys know Morse code? Okay, it's fine if you know it, but do you even know if the other person
Yeah.
knows it?
Is he gonna know it?
We're like, sure, we know it.
That
Wait,
would have
do
been
you
really
don't?
funny too, is if they were like, "Oh, absolutely, click, 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 click,"
And he
I have
goes,
no
I
idea
don't know
you
what
guys
he's
are
saying.
doing.
What was this?
Yes.
I did like that technology does help a little bit in this environment that they're so lacking. They need technology to kind of help save them. But the fact that they're like, they give us hope and another reason to like still keep moving forward.
Yes.
Now we have a storyline. Let's get to Denver.
Yeah, we have a lead.
Yes.
Let's find Dylan. You know, like these two different storylines. They're like, we still have an objective.
Yep.
This isn't our end game. This is just like a rest stop.
Right. And we still don't have like the machinations towards like saving the world yet. It's all just kind of like, let me find my loved ones and survive. And it's like, all
Yeah.
right, yeah.
We don't care about anybody else.
Yeah,
Well, the problem is like they don't know what else is after them other than vampires.
that's true.
Okay, another random comment. This show does it a tiny bit, but not really. And like zombie shows, if you see the bad thing, you need to kill it because guess what? It'll still be there later. And we'll kill someone else.
Right.
So it's like along the way, you really should be taking them out because if you come back that way, they might still be there.
Yeah,
And
you're making more work for yourself.
Yeah,
I mean, they
exactly.
kind of do it, but you're just like, guys, you could be a little more systematic.
Are you talking
about this.
specifically about Sam right now?
No, just in
Oh,
general.
okay.
Because like this show, it's something that drove me nuts about Walking Dead. It's like you
Yeah.
should be killing them along
Kill
the
all of
way,
them, yeah.
and this show they kind of do it as they're going around, but
Yeah.
it's like maybe you should make an effort, because that would be the saving the rest of people.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of
Have
like.
a awareness besides your group.
I totally agree. We don't get a lot of that sense of like, are they like sneaking past vampires ever? Is that ever a thing, or are they just pretty much like engaging vampires in fights? That's what it seems like, right?
Yeah, it
Like, that
doesn't
they're
seem
pretty
like
much
they ever
fighting
sneak around them.
Yeah.
Muhammad was the only one that
Muhammad
maybe
kind of
when he had
maybe
the
did.
parachute in the tree. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of interested in that too, because like, you know, that's great that your tactic is just just go for it, just slice and shoot everything.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's a great
works for
tactic
them.
until you run out of ammo and
Well, I wasn't
energy.
saying you shoot
And like,
everything.
I don't know, I'm just throwing that out
I'm
there.
not
like,
saying run into the horde. I'm
Yeah.
just saying when there's like 2 or 3 around you, may as well kill them. Because
I
then you don't
totally
have to deal with
agree.
it.
I
and then
totally
they're
agree.
behind you, by the way.
Yeah.
Because then they could follow you. Like, oh wait,
And they will.
Sam. Ah,
they will.
see? They are still around. Ah.
You guys think Sam is going to become like Gollum?
I was hoping.
he
Okay, I'll
looks
save
like
it
him.
for
before
predictions.
we
I'll
get
save it
to
for
like
predictions. I'm
really
sorry.
we get to Sam.
Yes.
There I do want to talk about Susan though.
Yes.
Okay.
Because going back to her house and finding her father, she had daddy issues. But her mom
More
died.
than just daddy issues.
Daddy issues. But like, what did you think of the whole concept of going back to Susan's house? Did you see this episode as a setup for her death?
No, I didn't see that really coming.
Oh,
saw it
I kinda
from-
saw it.
Yeah, from a
Yeah,
million
I was
miles
like,
away.
oh, we're coming full circle.
The fact that her mother was dead when they got to the house was like,
Okay.
oh no, Susan's gonna die in this episode.
No.
Like, I was like, oh, you're gonna meet your mom. It's gonna be poetic, but it's also gonna be really sad.
No, it's full circle.
I think I was just going in the present. I wasn't really thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Same.
I just was like, okay, it's
Yeah.
the house.
I thought for full circle, I was like, oh, she's back. Because we were learning more about Susan in this episode than anybody else. I was like, why finally learn all these details about Susan that
Because
really
she's
didn't,
done.
but like that really doesn't matter or will change anything for her future
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
not to kill her off.
I think it was also
Yeah.
a nail in the coffin, so to speak, to that when she was like, oh, I want to stay here. It was like, yeah, you're gonna. Forever.
For eternity, as they said.
Yeah.
Girl, that's my
Yeah,
note.
this is also, is that how heaven works to you, Vanessa? Oh, she gets to stay here for eternity. Her version of heaven is just this. Like, just,
That's
there
true.
she is.
Where you died is where you stay.
Yeah.
All right, Vanessa. I don't care to unpack that, but okay.
She could have said it a different way that, like, at
Yeah.
least her body laid to rest with her family, not
should have.
necessarily her spirit.
She's
Right.
here
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
Yep.
She painted a very terrifying picture.
Yeah, but we also know that Vanessa's not really a religious person.
That's true.
I think there was that episode like she kind of talked about like they kind of hinted at like some big belief, but she's not a religious person.
She seems
Susan
like a
or
realist.
Vanessa?
Vanessa, Vanessa.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say atheist, but like
Maybe she's like agnostic.
Agnostic.
Something's
Right.
out there, but she has
Willing
no
to
specific.
believe,
Yeah.
but not convinced. Certainly.
Yeah. I guess it was interesting hearing Susan's reveal about her father. Like, okay, let's not kill him as a zombie at first. Like, hold on, wait, that's my dad.
Right.
Right.
And
She was
then
like,
wait,
"Ugh."
let him suffer that way. Oh wait, by the way, my dad raped me. Well wait, that's why I didn't talk to my mom. Okay, never mind, I'm just gonna kill him.
Yeah.
It was like, I felt that came out a little clunky.
It was so sloppy the way that it came out. It was just like,
Yes.
okay.
Because as a context, that sounds great. Like, that's a really good story.
It's a
That's
compelling
very
story.
interesting. And it actually really explains a lot of Susan's behaviors later in life, too.
Sure.
because she's been a victim
Motivates
before,
her
and she becomes
relationships.
like it's just a vicious cycle, does it again.
All right, yeah.
Because she had the abusive guys before. She had abusive father,
And John tried to rape her as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and so it's like, but then I just felt it just wasn't delivered quite right.
Yeah, like
I
she doesn't want. Okay, she's all crazy about don't shoot my dad, and then 5 minutes later is like closure, baby, bang! Like no, I hated that so much. It was so like I could just see some like producer or something being like, what if she shoots him? It'd be great. She can say closure. Ooh, it's gonna stick it to the man. Like I really hated it.
I'm okay with her shooting him, but I didn't need the words.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was my thing.
It would have been like an action movie, like
was
closure, bitch.
That's
Yeah,
like
that's
for
what it was
Vanessa.
like
I
too
want
much.
Vanessa to be
Yes,
doing the closure
Vanessa makes
lines. You know what I
jokes.
mean? Like
Susan doesn't really make jokes
Susan
that
doesn't
way.
make jokes.
I'm okay with her shooting him. That's totally fine.
That was fine. I just also
And-
saw it coming as soon as like, oh, the camera's behind Vanessa's shoulder now. She's
that was a really
winding
weird
up.
camera angle too,
Yeah, I
over
was like-
Sam's shoulder.
I was like,
Yeah.
you're showing us that someone else is gonna shoot him.
Yeah.
You're
I didn't like it.
there
Apparently
you go.
Susan has good aim now.
Yeah.
I thought that too. I'm like, dude, you could have hit Vanessa.
Vanessa was right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, we know none of them can shoot worth a damn.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like,
Yeah, Vanessa was
Alright.
also ready to swing, so I mean,
Yeah.
that was.
Either of you
Shoot.
think her dad looked comedic as a vampire? I just thought it was goofy.
It was so goofy, and you couldn't.
At least he
gross.
kind of had fangs. I kind of was happy they were
it was
fangs.
like drool. Ew, it was nasty
Drool,
drool.
and his tongue too.
Have
You're
you
like,
guys-
what is that?
Have you
I
guys
know, I
ever
was
seen,
laughing. I was like, I
have you
could
guys ever
not take
seen
him
a Venus
seriously.
flytrap, the little plant? It's
Yeah.
basically two little like clam mouths.
Okay.
That's what he had basically, with like little yellow teeth coming out of his little Venus flytrap mouth, and it was like circular, and his tongue would jut out. It was like a weird like
And his
clam
eyes
monster.
too, and how he looked around. It just was. I couldn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Me too.
It wasn't scary. It was funny and awkward.
He was too over the top. You couldn't
Absolutely.
take
Yes.
seriously.
We see these previews watching on SyFy for
Yeah.
iZombie. It looked like something out of iZombie.
Yeah.
Like I don't watch that show, but I'm like, that doesn't seem like it's from our Van Helsing world.
No, it doesn't. It just
This-
felt so weird.
It was
'cause-
cartoony.
Yeah,
almost.
yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
But all right, the father dies, shot by Susan. Closure.
yeah.
Boom.
Closure, baby.
They're burying the father, but what did you think of this whole the main climactic scene with Sam and now revealing that he's the killer, but killing Susan and choking her to death, literally choking the life out of her eyes, and just like her looking at him with
It felt so out of nowhere that I was like,
Oh,
I
really?
need motivation.
I was upset because I knew that in that moment where he's shaving and after he shaves he weeps.
Okay, I noticed
like,
something
oh.
was up.
yeah. I was like he
I'm like,
said
oh, he's the killer.
Oh, that's when you knew?
Yeah, because
Well, I felt
he whipped
like he
in this
feels
way that was like, I'm gonna do something that's gonna ruin everything. Like almost was the feeling.
Okay.
And I just was really the we needed a change was also very literal. Like it's gonna be
It
more
made
than
him
that.
look creepier, so I was okay.
Yeah.
I went that route. I thought it was more like he almost has a split personality, something going on.
Yeah, I just
didn't
want to
see
know
that.
so many.
But
Like, I want to know
Yeah.
so much. Like
Yes.
he says that there's a truth that needs to come out, right?
well, yeah, there's
What do you think
that's
that
the big-
truth
things.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I can buy, even though it's very thin, I can buy she was weak and she's just holding you back.
I can totally buy that.
I can kinda
wish
buy that.
That it had come from
Thin,
Yeah.
but I can buy it.
like
It's-
a pre her death place.
Yes.
But yeah, like I don't disagree. She was weak. She wanted to stay in the place. She was not a great shot. Like
she was weak, but you don't have to kill her. Just
Yes.
literally
Absolutely.
leave her there because
Doc,
that's
then they should have
that's her
killed
home.
Doc.
Yeah, exactly.
Like she was more of a problem
Yeah,
than
she was
Susan
way
ever
more
was.
That's exactly what
compromising, you're right.
I was. Yeah, it's just like even though they're weak, just leave them.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
and she's
yeah.
home, she'd be fine.
Yeah.
But like,
Yep.
I think one of the lines that like really just irked me was one of Sam's justification lines. He was like, "It's just who I am." That's not good enough.
no.
That's not a good
that's-
enough explanation of why you're doing this.
No,
That's way
there
not
felt
good
like
enough for an
there's way more.
audience.
So I really hope they explain what that secret was.
Well, now
And,
not only does he
and
have.
Vanessa doesn't really prod Muhammad much about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I mean, she
"Eh."
might later.
Yeah, I hope so.
But
I mean,
do, or do
yeah.
you think Muhammad will just tell her, hopefully in the next episode?
I mean,
I
for-
hope so.
for
Well,
being our
you know
two-
what?
For being our two smartest characters, I feel like those two did a really poor job at communicating with each other
Yes.
in this episode.
True.
Like, you
When
were
we were
sitting
watching-
there. Yeah. You go ahead.
Muhammad walks up and he's talking to Vanessa, and I'm like, just say,
It's hard to explain. It's so hard to explain, though. But it's so hard to explain. But I don't know how to
3
explain
words.
it. I'm not sure how to form the
Yeah,
words.
yeah.
And he's just like, Sam's a killer. Like, you just get, Sam's a killer.
I'm like, 3 words. Sam is the
he
killer.
stammered
Oh, sorry,
for
4
like-
words. Sam is the killer.
He legit
right there.
stammered for like 5 lines before, like, and
Yes.
Sam is slowly like towering in the
Creeping
background.
in.
Also, I had
She
such.
could have said it and had the same dramatic, like, Sam is the killer. Oh shit, he's right there. Like, it still could have been just as like, wah!
I have such a
like to say
problem
it.
dramatically with the way that they cut from him being like, oh yeah, I'm the killer, to the commercial, and then come back to, I'm gonna find her in the woods and scream no. And then I'm gonna go back and deal with
That
everything.
was weird. That was
I
weird
was
that she
like,
left to go, like, double
Why
check.
would he lie about that?
But like, if you know
Right?
that
Like-
Sam's the killer, why leave him alone with Muhammad?
Yeah.
Yes! Yes.
That's
Because
what I'm
I
like,
would have
you
wanted the
literally
next
leave-
sentence to be why.
Yes.
I'm the killer. I did it because.
It took until she finally came back, grabbed the shotgun, and made her face at him before she said why.
Way too
Took
close
forever.
standing to him with that
Yeah.
shotgun, too. He can totally grab it.
Oh, I know.
Drove
And
me
he's a
nuts.
strong dude.
Yes!
He's so tall. He's got a reach.
Yes.
Yeah, his
You need to be
arm
outside of reach.
is,
It's a
like,
gun. You don't need to be right. Ah! It's a very frustrating episode.
It's a very frustrating, and I forewarned you before you watched
Yeah.
this. I was like, this is a very
I told him
frustrating
to.
episode.
Yeah. So I'm mad at this episode.
Yes.
I think we all are
Yes.
for like good reasons, but yeah, Sam's the killer. And okay, so once we find him out and they take him to the forest, and Vanessa's pissed. I
Yeah.
mean, rightfully so. And she's like, I'm gonna take him out. I'm gonna kill you, dude. I have the shotgun to your back. Gonna take you out. How do you think this whole scene went down? Did you like how they executed it? The whole exchange between Sam and Muhammad, still not knowing what he said, but just like the thought that you're just gonna execute Sam after all this.
I mean, I think like what you guys were saying earlier about, hey, you know how sometimes you run into bad guys on the way? Maybe you should finish them off while they're still there. Is like this is that moment. Like, you definitely should. Like, he is going to be such a problem for you
And
guys
guess what?
later.
He kind of comes back at the end of the episode.
I mean,
yes. No, absolutely. You should
we're
just
given-
do it.
yeah.
But then it's Vanessa like, well, we're not killers. And you're just like,
But you are.
But,
You've
like,
killed so
you killed
many
John.
vampires up to
Yes.
now. And John.
but they haven't
literally
killed
killed John.
humans. Oh, they killed John.
yeah.
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 Vanessa, you are a killer.
You are.
Yeah,
You
you,
gotta
killed John when you thought he was a killer. So
deal
now when
with
you know
it.
Sam is the killer, you're not ready to kill him.
Yeah.
We're not like
Hypocrites.
you, except that time that we were. Come on, Vanessa. But
Yeah.
that didn't count.
Yes.
We were inside.
Yeah, I was very torn with Vanessa in this episode. I was like, you mean well, but you are hypocritical right now.
I think that there was something that, what's her name, Rebecca said that was actually really important. She's like, yeah, Vanessa's a lot like us. She can walk but she can walk in the sun. But one of the things that she said, her rage is a lot like us. And I was like,
Yes.
oh, astute. I hadn't thought about that. I just thought she was real mad all the time. Yeah,
Yes.
she's full of rage.
Well, the one time she went
especially-
psycho and like like the first time she bit someone, that was like a rage snap.
Right.
So, but I hadn't quite thought of it as like pure vampire. So yeah, she's definitely
So
more
she's
like
elite material.
Oh.
she's
Do you
like
think-
Blade.
Yes. Do you think?
She's
I
descended
love that
from
reference.
vampires.
Do you think if an elite got Vanessa and bit her, she would like skip the whole feral feeder, neutral feeder process and go straight to elite?
Maybe. I just
If
don't...
Vanessa got bit by an elite,
Yeah.
well, so far every time a vampire bites her, she just cures them and she
Yeah.
doesn't change.
Right.
So
but if an elite got to her,
maybe.
do you think
I'd be curious.
the biological system is
Can I ask you guys
Yes.
this? Do you think that when and if the vampires get a hold of Vanessa, are they actually gonna like bite her, or are they gonna like give her to scientists and be like, "Don't let her blood touch yours until we know what it does"?
Well, they know it
might
turns
be.
you back to human. They
I mean,
think so.
they know it kind of does. Yeah,
Yeah, they
'cause,
don't know
like,
exactly how it
Julius-
works.
Julius has vague ideas, and they all, like it's
Well,
mostly
have-
stories. No one has experienced
Exactly.
it, right?
None of
Oh,
them have actually witnessed it.
Yes.
Julius did when he bit Susan, though, right? Or kind
No.
of. We didn't see that.
Julius
not.
witnessed Vanessa turn Susan back to human.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. Because
But Julius is not talking to the elite, giving
Yes,
them like
exactly.
direct
That's
good
true.
So
info.
the
Very
elites don't
true.
really truly know Vanessa's
They know
capability.
rumors. Yeah.
Yeah, they've only heard secondhand recounts.
Yes.
Stories.
And
Julius is the one with all the information.
it's one of those, you got to keep her alive to keep producing that said blood too. So you really cannot kill her.
That's why I just, every time we talk about this, I'm like, oh my god, where's Dylan? We got to get Dylan in here. She's more of this blood.
Where is
This is
Dylan?
true.
And where is the Doc's sisters so
And
she
wait,
can
we only
answer
have one
answers?
episode left?
Yeah.
What? This is the
You
season
sure?
finale?
Oh, I was told that this was there was one more.
We will have to
episode.
double check because
Okay.
12
episode count.
I hope it's a long episode. Because we have so
It
much.
feels
we
like
have
it's
so
too
many
much to wrap up.
questions.
Well,
I know,
this is season
there's
2.
too many things.
They got renewed for season 2,
Okay,
right?
good.
Yes.
Good.
When I looked on IMDb, they had a couple last episodes, but they didn't have air dates.
Okay.
So then I'm not sure.
Okay.
We'll
find
look
out,
into
guys.
it, guys.
We'll
We'll
check
get
the
back to
internet. Don't
Yes.
worry.
Or if you know, please tweet at us.
Bringing it back to Sam
Yes.
in the forest.
Yes.
They say Karma will get him. They slice his
Oh,
leg.
Yeah, the backs of his knees.
I was like, well,
Ow.
that's a legit femoral artery. He can literally just bleed out
Oh, yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
and
That's
there.
like worse than doing the, well, it's almost as bad as the Achilles tendon and then you can't even
yeah.
walk.
I think, yeah.
Oh, it was gnarly.
And the sound was terrible. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I think that was just as worse.
It was gnarly.
Doesn't deserve a quick death, and Karma will take care of the rest. I'm like, all right. So they're not like truly killers, but they helped kill him.
Yes.
Yeah,
Doing that, she essentially killed. She gave him a death sentence.
Oh, for
Right.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Him crawling
Oh, yeah.
around though, literally on his hands and knees, crawling around.
Not even knees. His
Yeah, he was
hips.
just like shuffling along with his arms.
Yeah.
and tummy.
With the
Yes.
feral chasing him. I wanted to say I felt bad for him after liking a character so much,
I was just waiting for him to get
but
bit.
he
I was like, come
deserved
on.
it.
Yeah.
I'm torn, yeah, because
Yeah.
it's like so far, according to his reasoning, every time he killed someone was for a
A good reason.
purpose of helping the group,
Right.
an effed up reason, but still, his main goal was helping the group. So it's not just that I just killed people for no reason.
Yeah.
They were people not helping the group. So you kind of go, okay,
Yeah, but you still shouldn't kill them. Just leave them.
yes.
Just leave them.
Yeah.
It's so much easier.
And it's not like it exponentially helped the group when any of those people died.
Yeah,
But I think he would kind of go, hey, it's not really doing much.
But also, why keep the fingers too?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is
And
that about?
I think
would
that's
hope
his sick, twisted serial
Yes.
killer way that he just
It's his
takes a
Dexter thing.
memento.
He needs his
I
memento.
guess so.
Yeah.
I was hoping he would channel that energy into killing vampires.
Me too.
Right.
Like, oh, I need to kill stuff? Great. I can actually kill a ton of them and not get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
Vampires. I got them aplenty.
And that's being helpful.
Yes.
I mean, and there's so much that they try. Like, I feel like this episode tried really hard to be poetic because it's just like, look at the scene where he's weeping. He knows what he has to do for reasons that we're not going to tell you. But look, he's doing it, and oh, look, he's really sad. There was that moment right before, like, Susan hugged him too, where he was really sad, and you're like, I was at least like, he's about to kill you. Please don't.
That's when I was like, I was thinking he was going to stab her.
Oh, really?
I was waiting for her face to be like,
As soon as the hug happened, I was actually thinking the hug would turn into like a Lenny from Mice and Men thing, and he would just go crunch. I'm so strong. I was worried about that.
Yeah.
But
I knew
it
it
turned
was going to
into
be
the
like a
strangle.
suffocation
Yeah.
because we've seen
we know
we've seen like
hand
two
marks.
different accounts.
someone just made that reference in the chat room.
Of Mice and Men.
Yeah, someone's like, it's a guy in Mice and Men.
We've seen
Chat
two-
room says 2 episodes left.
Oh,
Two
okay,
episodes.
great.
Oh.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, my.
You guys are great.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Great. Obviously, I'm terrible with numbers. But we've seen 2 different separate occasions of Sam killing people and showing his strength, and it makes a lot of sense. That's how he would kill Susan.
Yeah.
His
Not by
choking?
weapon,
With
just
his-
by his
Yeah.
own strength.
Mitts.
Yep.
his-
Well, because
his
he's a
hands.
big guy.
He is.
I'm not surprised.
I would not want to take him on. That's for
I
sure.
mean,
No.
What about in Thumb War?
No,
No.
I won't even test it.
All right. He probably has huge thumbs.
Probably.
Yeah.
Tall guy, big hands.
Yes, but they
Usually.
they bury Susan in a way kind of poetic.
It was, yeah.
Buried with her
With the
family
Sam digs her
in
up.
her house. But
That
Sam,
was
yeah, Sam digs her up.
weird.
Like, she's-
Did you think that
she's-
Sam was actually going to be after Vanessa and Mohammed, or actually go back to Susan, dig her up, and eat her?
That was
I
weird.
did not see the Susan thing
Didn't
happening.
see that
And I'm
happening.
like, she's not that freshly
No.
dead. So
I
why would
also-
you want to bite? I don't understand.
I also wondered if that was like some weird, like he's gonna try to bite her and turn her again or something. Like, what is this?
It
like,
felt
I just was
so
very,
weird.
Yeah, it felt very strange.
Super weird.
Like, is this? Yeah, yeah. It didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I liked there was that one shot of him when he did get bitten by that feral.
Well, he
and
let
like
it
how,
happen.
Yeah, he let it happen.
Yeah.
He like purposely
He's like,
put his
"Here's
hands in
my
there.
hand."
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather live an
Yes.
immortal life that's tortured than die.
I've been
Yeah,
waiting for
But
this.
I did like that moment that they showed the audience, like, how fast he changed
Yeah.
to a pharaoh.
Oh yeah, it was
He
like
was just
Nero.
laying there and his physical face just changed.
Yeah.
But he's not like stupid Pharaoh. He's more
No.
like feeder level actually, even
was
though
gonna
it's a
say.
Pharaoh that bit him.
Yeah.
Because he spoke after.
Yeah.
Which we now someone
true.
pointed out in the chat, and then we can clarify that being a vampire cures your human ailments because he goes, "I can hear you," which was super creepy.
That
Super
was creepy.
awesome and scary.
That's why I thought he was going to be after Vanessa and Mohammed.
Probably will be
I mean,
because
yeah.
he has
But this
super
is not
hearing.
the last
Super
we've seen of him.
But someone pointed out, and I was kind of curious too in the chat room of how he still speaks the same kind of way as he was when he was deaf. So, but then that's not an ailment. That's just how you've learned how words sound.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that won't be fixed, quote unquote. Yes.
Maybe. I think he'll probably like as he talks to people and hears
More,
things,
yeah.
he'll gain affectation.
Well, because now he can hear himself.
Just
too.
like how sometimes when people are foreign, you like start to talk how they talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So he'll do that. He'll do that
Yeah.
with vampires.
Yeah, I did
Okay.
find that moment when he was yelling out, "I can hear you." I was like, "Oh crap,
Yeah.
he's no longer deaf."
That was
Yes.
my
That
favorite
scared
line.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
And
And he
was
said it
running.
several times. Yeah.
Yes.
He has a physical, scary presence.
Yes.
I would not
And now
want
his
that
face.
chasing me.
So I was
So, actually, another random question: do any
Yes.
of the vampires' hair or facial hair grow while you're a vampire? Because
Good
technically you
question.
are dead. Because then you should stay clean shaven. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know
So
yet.
did Dimitri just shave like that before he became a vampire, and,
And he's
now
stuck with
it's
that
just
goatee.
like that?
Yeah.
Unless
And
he
he's
wants
like,
to shave.
"Oh, this isn't in fashion. It hasn't been in fashion for thousands of years."
And his
sucks.
haircut sucks.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, you
man.
cut it, but it would
Yeah.
never go back.
Oh man.
That's true. You could cut it, and then you'd be stuck with what you cut it to. It's
So-
like a toy.
so
You're like, it's
Nosferatu-
not. It's a
You
Barbie.
ruined it.
You can't come back.
So like Nosferatu was just a vampire that was just like, I'm just getting rid of all of it. I'm taking away the
And
temptation.
then he's like, damn it.
I
Yeah.
can't go back. Yeah.
Sucks
Probably.
being dead.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know. But other than that, maybe that takes us straight to anything else about this episode? Or...
I just wanted to
Well,
say.
Vanessa and Mohammed's standoff of should we go together or split up?
Yeah.
right.
It's like,
Yeah.
why was that even a question?
Yeah, let's split up after
Yeah, that's a
everything
great
that just
plan.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just watched like all of our friends die. That seems like
Yes.
a good idea. Let's
Right.
leave.
And she said it earlier too, when she was going to take Sam out, and and Mohammed's like, I don't want to be alone. I agree. In that world, never you should be
Yeah.
ever should be alone because
Find
it's always
someone to
better to have an
trust.
extra set of eyes.
Right,
Yeah.
he's just spent 3 episodes alone. He doesn't
Yes.
want to be alone
He's over
again.
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's true. He was able to survive alone, but he'd be
Yeah.
like, nope, I don't want to be by myself.
Yeah. I mean, it gets
Yeah.
a little exhausting, it seems like.
Yes.
Last thing I wanted to say was just like, I'm sure then this bleeds into predictions a little bit, but I'm really looking forward to a time when Sam will get to talk to Flesh again. Just because that, like, that
That could be an interesting conversation now
the
that he's a
original
vampire.
conversation, yeah, the original conversation where he's like, yeah, it heals all your ailments,
Oh,
like
he'll
my
be
shoulder
like,
thing's coming
by
back.
the way.
Yeah, like yeah, and so now
Yeah.
now that Flesh is like the head of that little commune, like I know that they're gonna be able to meet up again.
Sure.
Whether or
It'll
not
happen.
they do, yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, but they're sticking together. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
They said they're on their way to find Sheena because that's
On the
first
way to
before
Right.
Denver. On the way to Denver.
Right.
Nondescript location on the way.
Yeah.
He just is like, it's on the way.
Well, it's the slave.
It's
the slave camp that he
hundreds of
keeps talking
miles
about.
away.
Yeah, but we don't know where that is to where they are to where that is,
That's
like on
true.
a map.
He just says it's on the way.
Yeah, and like even them moving around from place to place, we don't even
We have no
know
sense of a map.
where they are, and
Yeah.
No.
like the sense of area and space they are
No.
anymore.
Or how much
Right.
distance
Beyond
they've
us.
really covered. And
Yeah, it's beyond us.
do we
Yeah.
think, as part of predictions as well, do we think Axel's coming back?
Yes.
I would love to see him come back. It would be great if he's still alive and he actually meets with Vanessa.
Or what if he's
Muhammad.
not alive? What if he's a vampire and he meets up with
That just
Sam?
sucks.
Should we just put that in predictions?
Yes, let's go to
Okay,
predictions.
prediction time.
Because that's like, wait, these are all what we want to happen. We're like, this is what we want to happen.
But I'm just saying,
It's
you
funny
guys.
you bring up Axel because like at the end I noticed Dak wasn't in this episode. I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
But like I really missed Axel. I was like,
Yeah.
Vanessa needs someone to talk to. I was
Yes.
like, she has
Yeah.
Muhammad, but like it'd be nice to have another strong male. And I
Yeah.
was like, I miss Axel.
Yeah.
But going on.
I hope Axel comes back. And vampire or not, I just hope he comes back. I half wondered, and I kind of was like, oh, that's optimistic, but what if Sam joins them as a helpful vampire, not I'm trying to kill you vampire, but is able to, block those impulses and want to be helpful, not just try to kill them.
Maybe
not helpful. But
I would accept that if he's able to articulate in a way that is satisfying to us why he killed Susan.
Yes.
Really.
Yes.
Like, if he's able to be like, oh, I killed her because she was actually plotting against you this whole time, etc., etc., etc. I'll be like, oh, great, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That all seems legit. It checks out.
Yes.
I love you again, Sam.
Yes.
But right now, I'm really upset with you.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel.
Yes.
If he just tries to, welcome back, guys. No.
No,
You heard us.
I hope now he can be like, hey, by the way, let me talk about. Well, we already saw in the preview for next time the Eden, stuff goes bad.
Yes.
Of course, you can't have a safe space.
True, and I think my problem is just like so many out of the whole group that we started off with, so many became so unlikable,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
so unredeemable, which is really
You're like,
And died.
and died.
Just died.
Yes.
I was like, I think Flesh, ironically, was like one of the better ones.
Yep.
Flesh is wonderful.
Axel's one of the better ones, obviously.
Ooh, Flesh could join back up with the group.
Yeah.
Flesh, but like out of everyone that we started with, so many just became unlikable.
Yeah.
Yes. It's unfortunate. Yes.
I'm gonna say I still think Axel survives, and
Yeah.
it would be great.
Human or vampire?
I don't care what form he's in,
Yeah.
so long as
Yeah.
he's still
I'll take
there
him
on
either
screen.
way. Yeah.
I think he'll come
Yes.
back in the finale.
Yes.
Because it'd be great. It would be a great reveal in the last episode.
Yes.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining us, tuning in. All thanks to the whole live chat. You guys are awesome. In the meantime, where can everyone keep following you?
Yes, you can find me online at Kari Lane. That's KaridLane, and you can see more photos of this lovely jewelry by Neath Jewelry.
Yes.
That's very true. I'm Andrew Mena. If you want to find me on the internets, go to Twitter and then hit the @ sign and then Andrew Mena, and then that's it. And then I'll talk to you through the internet.
Oh
There
my.
you go. And you can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV. You can follow all of us here on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those fun social media platforms at AfterBuzz TV. Keep rating, keep commenting, keep subscribing, keep talking about this show. We have 2 more episodes left. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.